Welcome back, everyone. In last unit, we talked about cost of quality, and we talked about different kinds of quality costs. But one of the things that we did talk about and you learned about in the cost of quality unit are different kinds of failure, internal and external failures. When we talk about internal failures and external failures, what those are nonconformances. If you think about the term nonconformance, that's exactly what it means. It's nonconforming, probably to some specification, some requirement, but it's a nonconforming product. So that's what this unit is all about. It's about how do we deal and how do we address when we do have a nonconforming product. Let's say, for example, that I'm a company that manufactures motorcycles, and there's a lot of the parts that I manufacture myself, but I don't manufacture every single part in a motorcycle in my own plant. There might be, and there are, several different parts that I purchase from a supplier. Okay, let's just take a mirror, for example. I'm not an expert in manufacturing mirrors, but there's somebody out there who specifically manufactures mirrors. So my company decides and chooses to purchase mirrors from company B. And I purchase thousands of those. I get thousands of those in at a time because I'm manufacturing and cranking out motorcycle after motorcycle after motorcycle. So one of the things that is important with nonconformances and trying to figure out how to discover if you have nonconformances is creating some kind of a sampling plan. If I have a receiving dock where I have these mirrors showing up at the dock and I have a person that needs to check them in, and I receive 15,000 of them on a Monday morning, how do I know how many to check? How do I know out of those 15,000, how can I be assured that I accept that as shipment, that it's a good shipment? Part of this unit addresses some of that. It talks about a sampling plan or a sampling plan to figure out how many I should check. So if I've got 15,000 on the dock, it tells me that I need to sample X number to get a level of assurance that I have good quality in that shipment. That whole concept of sampling plans is changing with with companies getting involved with statistical process control. That's a whole different ball game that assures good quality, and in many cases you can eliminate sampling to assure good quality. But that's a whole nother course and a whole nother topic. For now, we're talking about if you need to do a sampling plan, how many you pick. So the point here is that if I've got those mirrors coming in and I'm sampling according to whatever sampling plan I have set up, and then I discover that something is non-conforming, something is out of specification, how do I react to that? What do I do? What are my processes for dealing with that and for getting back to my supplier? Not with just the supplier, but in-house as well, because oftentimes, if I'm manufacturing something, at some point along the line things go wrong and I'm producing parts that are not within spec. How do I handle those non-conforming parts? And that's an important issue to deal with as far as what do I do? How do I correct it? How do I make sure that I isolate those parts so they don't get mixed in with good parts and causes me all kinds of headache and causes my customer all kinds of headache? So this unit is going to deal with that. It's also going to talk about non-conforming products that go out to the customer. How is that dealt with? And how do we deal with non-conforming materials or parts or product that goes to the customer? We've all experienced that. We've all had maybe some dissatisfaction in a product or a service. It makes all the difference in the world how that company deals with that in a positive way, whether you're going to return to that supplier for more product. So it's important to have for companies to have those systems set up. So again, this unit is going to get into that and talk about how to deal with that. Um, and then based on those non-conformances, what are corrective actions that are going to take place or that need to take place so it doesn't happen again. Again, this is all part of continuous improvement. Learning from mistakes, using the data that you've collected on those mistakes to maybe create a new project to reduce the chance of those non-conformances from occurring. Um, so again, it's important for companies, if they're serious about continuous improvement, that they have some process in place or a good process in place to address a non-conforming product and parts.